Hello, this is Alex from phpacademy.org with another video for the new Boston. In the last tutorial we looked at the header function and how we can use it to change headers, and we used the more common example of relocating a user to a specific page. Now we're faced with this problem where we have output before our page or before our PHP code, therefore this header function is returning an error. So let's just have another look at that. We're saying cannot modify header information. Header's already sent by this page, and we're saying on line 8, so we're calling this on line 8. Now there's a simple way to resolve this, and to solve this problem we use a function called ob_start. Now this stands for output buffering start, and what this function does is it turns output buffering on. Now I'll show you how we write this in our program, or our code rather, and then I'll tell you a bit about the function and why we have to use it and what it does. So I'm going to create some PHP tags as well up here before my output and also before the code that uses the header. So this is going at the very top of my page before any output, and we use ob_start, just called simply on its own with no arguments supplied. You can also pull this up a bit so it looks a bit neater, so it's all on one line. Okay, so ob_start will not output anything on the page. Well, it will, but it will be the page output will be stored in an internal buffer rather than as headers. So if we have some page content on here, let's say my page, this is my page, let's just let's say redirect equals false, so we don't do a redirect, and let's run the page. So before we had this cannot modify header information, but with a simple change up here, ob_start, let's change this to true so we do redirect. With a simple ob_start called at the top, when we refresh, now our page is going to redirect. So if you're receiving this error that we've had before we used this, let's just get rid of that. If you're receiving this error here, then you need to consider using the ob_start. Now at the end of the page, it's always good practice to use another function which will clean the output. So we say ob_end clean, and what this function does is clears the output buffer, but doesn't actually give us any contents back. So when we refresh this, that's still going to redirect. And if we change redirect to false, so we're not redirecting, and we refresh, go back and refresh. Okay. So if we use ob_end flush and we refresh, we get the page contents out. So if the redirect is false, we're not redirecting, but we're still displaying this even if this is not redirecting. If you are redirecting the page, you'll just need ob_end clean, and what this does is it won't output anything on the page. There's no need for that. So ob_end flush will so ob_start is storing the output in an internal buffer. Then ob_end flush is flushing this buffer but then producing the contents back onto the page. However, the way you think about it, if you were to log a user out, you don't really need to display anything. You just need to redirect them maybe to a thank you for logging it, or see you soon page or something. So as it stands, this is like this. Then we change this to true, and we successfully redirect the user to another page. This can also be an internal file as well. You can say page equals index.php or page equals by.php or anything. So it doesn't have to just be a URL, it can be either a URL or a file within your web server.